to 2120. No type of roadmap at all for future generations. And you wonder why everybody want to be a gangster, a rapper, and an athlete. You wonder why everybody wants to be a gangster, a rapper, and an athlete. What else are they going to do? They belong to a community that does not give two shits. They belong to a community that does not give two shits about where their future generations are going to be. Guess what? European Jews have a 1,000-year plan. Chinese got a 2,000-year plan. Anglo-Saxons got a 500-year plan. Arabs got a 250-year plan, at least. At least. They're thinking about their great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren. They're already talking about who's going to rule the country, who's going to be the leaders of the race 50 years from now, 25 years from now. And black people are on their knees praying to a white Jesus, begging for a redeemer. Black people are on their knees praying to a white Jesus, begging for a deliverer. Black people are on their knees praying to a white Jesus, asking for heaven to send them somebody who's going to help them solve their problems. We're the only group. I'm not talking about your children, brother. There you go with ego and selfishness. I did not say you did not have a plan for the children in your house. I did not say you did not have a plan for the children in your household. I did not say you did not have a plan for the children who live under your roof. I said we. I know it's hard for you self-hating Negropeans to think in terms of race first. I know this. The former slave is almost unable to think in terms of race. I understand it's hard for a people who've been told for 500 years that being a black African is the worst curse in human existence. I know this is what you believe. The next thing that separates Africans from everybody else is the worship of money and materialism. We are a laughing stock in this country because we worship money and materialism. Nobody else worships money and materialism. Black people have single-handedly made billionaires out of white manufacturing companies. Single-handedly, Louis Vuitton. Single-handedly, Gucci. Single-handedly, all these companies that we worship who don't even like black people. Worshiping, look at the gangster rappers. Look at these goofy-ass gangster rappers who get on the video waving stacks of cash. When is the last time you seen a white musician get on the video and wave stacks of cash? When's the last time you seen a Chinese musician get on a video and wave stacks of cash? When is the last time you seen a European Jewish musician get on a video and wave stacks and stacks and stacks of money? Who does that except black folks? The white man don't worship money and materialism. White man worship power. Chinese don't worship money and materialism. Chinese worship power. Arabs don't worship money and materialism. Arabs worship power. European Jews don't worship money and materialism. European Jews worship power. And the Negro worships the money the white man makes and the materialism that the white man sells. And you wonder why we get no respect. How the hell we got rappers talking about all this money they got? Somebody help me out. We got all these rappers and all these athletes and all these actors and all these singers with all this money. We ain't got a single black Wall Street in America. Jay-Z is a billionaire. Kanye is a billionaire. LeBron is a billionaire. Bob Johnson is a billionaire. Whitney Houston is the richest woman in North American history. No disrespect to none of them. No disrespect to none of them. I like all of them, right? But can somebody tell me how you got all these billionaires and all these millionaires and you ain't got a single black Wall Street in black America? Somebody help me out. What am I missing here, Negro pens? What am I missing here? Listen, I respect my brother Kanye, no disrespect. But if Kanye want to impress me, build a black Wall Street. No disrespect to Jay-Z. If Jay-Z want to impress me, build a black Wall Street. No disrespect to Oprah. No disrespect to LeBron James. But if you want to impress me, build a black Wall Street. Go buy one of these towns for sale. Go buy one of these towns for sale. Go buy one of these towns for sale and open up an independent school, a real independent school, okay? A real independent black bank, a real independent black hospital, a real independent black supermarket, a real independent black manufacturing sector to give jobs to black people. Do that. Do that, and I will praise your name from now unto eternity. Do that. Because until you do that, you have done nothing for black folks. I don't care how many people you paid to get out of jail. That's good. I commend you, but that's not changing nothing. I don't care how many documentaries on police brutality you pay for. That's good. I commend you, but that's not changing nothing. I don't care how many protests you go to. I don't care how many congressional hearings you sit in. I don't care how many protests, how many interviews you do. That means nothing. If you want to change black America, you build institutions that black people control. If you don't like the message, hop off the live. Worshiping money and materialism. Negroes with 30 cars, 40 cars, 50 cars. But the neighborhood they come from still look the same. You know why? Black people have no obligation at all to their community. We have no obligation whatsoever to our community. We'll move out of the ghetto that made us who we are and never look back and never reach back to help another black person. And you wonder why we in the situation we in right now. Let's go to the next peculiar characteristic of the Negro psyche. We already talked about total rejection of African identity. Black people hate being black. Lord, did you know skin bleaching? Is it a $4 million or $4 billion industry? I forget. I didn't know this. I think it's billion. Is it billion? I think it's billion. If I'm not mistaken, skin bleaching is a $4 billion industry. $4 billion. Black people, $4 billion a year to lighten your skin. $30 billion to straighten your hair. You hate being black. Oh God, you hate being black. This is why the white power structure has been able to manipulate us out of the power conversation with words like multicultural, people of color, non-white Americans, disadvantaged communities. Yes, you love those words. Black people love to be called a person of color. Black people love to be called a minority. Black people love to be called non-white American. Black people love to be called a disadvantaged American. You like to be called anything except black or African. You hate it. And because the white man knows you hate being black, he slides you over into this category called minority. And he gives all the minority set-aside money. He gives all the minority set-aside money. He gives all the minority set-aside money to all the other groups, and we don't get nothing. And then we get mad when we don't get nothing. And the reason you don't get nothing is because you don't want to stand up and stand out and be who you are. If we refuse to be included in any other group except American African, if we did that, the whole policies would have to shift. If we refused to be lumped in with all the other non-white groups, so-called minority groups, they would have to change the whole policy of this country. Because so much of the policy is written for minorities. The American African should be a protected category, a uniquely protected category due to our uniquely different history and experience. Nobody in this country has been through what we've been through. Nobody. Nobody in this country has been through what we've been through. Nobody. Our unique history should be a plus in our political struggle, but it's not, because so many blacks don't want to be black. And you actually think if you act white enough, they will forget you are black. This is how sick the Negro is. This is how insane the Negropean is. This is how post-traumatic slavery diseased we are as a people. Just because you act white don't mean white people are going to forget you're black. But some of you believe this. If I bleach my skin, if I get a white girlfriend, if I go to a white college, if I live in a white neighborhood, if I think like white people, talk like white people, act like white people, they will forget that I'm black. You don't understand white supremacy. You don't understand white supremacy. You will never, ever be able to escape your blackness. You will never, ever be able to outrun your blackness. You will never, ever be able to shed your blackness. The only place where your blackness does not matter is in your own head. The only place your Africanity does not matter is in your own head. The only place where you can be perceived as being something other than a black African is in your head. You post-traumatic slavery disease Negroes. Economic crisis, I think we already talked about that. We're the only people who want to integrate their money with other groups. To 2120. No type of roadmap at all for future generations. And you wonder why everybody want to be a gangster, a rapper, and an athlete. You wonder why everybody wants to be a gangster, a rapper, and an athlete. What else are they going to do? They belong to a community that does not give two shits. They belong to a community that does not give two shits about where their future generations are going to be. Guess what? European Jews have a 1,000-year plan. Chinese got a 2,000-year plan. Anglo-Saxons got a 500-year plan. Arabs got a 250-year plan, at least. At least. They're thinking about their great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren. They're already talking about who's going to rule the country, who's going to be the leaders of